Hi, this is the help video for Access Chapter 7, Problem Solve 1. We're going to start right at the beginning here at Step 2. And I have 2 and 3 highlighted because both steps really are used to create a single query. And so this query is going to allow us to practice using aggregate functions and getting totals and grouping by those in a query. So we're going to begin this query by creating in Design View, and we need the transaction and the products table. So it's going to begin like a query that we've done over and over again, right? We're just going to bring down the product type, and then So let me back up a bit. The purpose of this query is to calculate the total revenue earned for each product type. So we're bringing down product type because that's going to be the field that we use to group by. That's what we want to get the statistic on, by each product type. And so to get that statistic, total revenue earned, we have to do a little bit of a calculation. We have our unit price, and we have our quantity. We need to multiply them together to get the total for each transaction. And then we're going to use the total row to sum those calculations. So we're going to go to this next field that's blank and zoom. I'm going to make this a little, okay, I have it set already. So the field name is going to be called revenue, colon, right? So always when you're doing your calculation, you put your name, and then the multiplies quantity times unit price. So both of those are fields, so we have to put them inside square brackets. So quantity times unit price. And so for each transaction, we're going to determine a revenue, which would be, let's say something's $10 and we sold 2. So that would be 2 times 10, 20 would be the revenue for that one transaction. But, so if I run this right now, see, I get each transaction, I get the total revenue for each. But I really want it, I want a total for accessories. I want a total for clothing. So let's go ahead and add our total row, which is this. So we're done with this. We're on step 3. We're going to group it by product type, and then this calculation, we want to get a total, right? So we're going to click on that, and we're going to sum it, and then we're going to make sure our format is currency. Let's run it now. So now I only get one line for each product type. So all of the records that in the transaction table about those sales now are grouped by this product type. The calculation that we made for revenue, quantity times unit price, for each record is calculated, and then the total is derived for each category. Very cool. Let's go ahead and save this. QRY revenue by product type, and then I'm going to go back and make sure I did not miss anything. I did. We're supposed to sort it right here, sort in descending order by revenue. So I'm going to come right here, revenue, sort, descending. I'm going to run it again. So the product type that brought in the most money is now at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and save that again so that change is done. So we're done with step number 3. All right, so we're going to look at step number 4, step number 5. Those go together. Okay, so step number 4, we're going to build a query on 2 tables, table customer and table transaction. So we're going to put first name, last name, street address, city, state, zip, and phone, right? So what we want is to list any customer that purchased something at the Pro Shop during the fourth quarter of 2022. So the first time I read this, I skipped over a really important piece of information, and that's this word right there, member. So when we look at our customers, we can, there's a status, right? And that status could be member. Let me open it up and show you. So look, the status could be member or guest. We only want to derive the result set for members. So somehow we're going to have to limit status to just member. And then who has made a purchase at the Pro Shop? Well, that's not in customer, that's in transaction. So how will we, what do we care about there? Well, we care about the transaction date, right? Because it's fourth quarter of 2022. So we need to do like between October 1st and December 31st, right? So we're going to build that query. So let's go ahead and start it. Create query. We're going to do customers and transactions. Okay, so we have a line between them. All is good. Let's bring these fields down. First name, last name, street address, city, state, zip, and phone. Okay. So that's cool, but I need to know member. So these are the things that I want to see when I run it. But I need a couple other pieces of information to actually get the correct result set. So one thing is I need status. Remember, that's where we're going to put in member as opposed to guest. And then the second thing would be transaction date. So in transaction date, I'm going to do between 10/1/2022 and 12/31/2022. Isn't that the fourth quarter, right? Fourth quarter of 2022. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So, okay, so if I run it now, look, Cynthia. Okay, this statement says, be sure each customer is listed only once. So how am I going to accomplish that? Well, I'm going to put the total row in there. Notice that all say group by, except this one will say where. Let's run it. Excellent. So we have each person just once. It's just our members. And then I can take that away, run it again. Perfect. Except ascending order by last name. Ascending, let's run it again. Last name, perfect. All right, so hopefully you saw how we work through that. So there's the fields that we put in there that we want to see, and then there's the fields that we had to put in order to derive it. And then when we wanted it to be just one customer and not the customer for every transaction that they did, then we put the total in to group it. All right, let's go ahead and save this. QRY, fourth quarter customers. And so we are done with step 4 and step 5. And I'm going to stop the movie. I'll pick it up at step number 6 in the next movie. Thank you.